Well, hello all. Out for another beautiful walk. The weather is still just a tad chilly. And today I wanted to quickly touch a little bit on the topic that I spoke about last week, which was change. As I mentioned in that video, change is our one constant. And I encouraged everyone to embrace that concept and embrace change in ways that are more meaningful to us. But sometimes what we need to embrace change in our life and difficult moments in general is better understanding. Understanding is a contextual concept. In other words, we can understand certain things only in certain context. Outside of that context, we tend to lose understanding. So, let's say you are a parent. Well, you certainly understand your child or children. You understand their moments, their tantrums, their moments of joy, happiness. You just understand things. You tend to know when they're hungry, when they're grumpy. You can be able to look between the lines and know why. Well, life is very much the same way. Sometimes when we embrace change or other things in our life that we have to do differently, we need some understanding to go with that. Understanding, as I said, is contextual. So sometimes when we find ourselves in a new situation and we don't quite understand what is happening or what is needed of us, the best place we can start is to dig into the topic and try to understand something on a smaller level about the topic. And I have found that if we can begin a course of understanding in small, meaningful ways like that, then we can swallow the elephant, so to speak, in much smaller chunks and bites as we move forward with the bigger changes and understanding those bigger changes and what we have to do to implement them into our life in consistent and meaningful ways. So, what can we do to increase our ability to understand things? Well, I think on some level we have to look inside of ourselves. How do we learn? How do we grow? What helps us grasp new concepts, new ideas, and things in a better, more meaningful way? When we can do that, I think we can get a foothold on understanding something or understanding complex topics. When I was in college, many of the things I studied in philosophy under my teacher were easy to kind of grasp when you talked about them, but when you looked at things written out on paper, especially in philosophy, it was hard to understand the concepts. It is hard to understand what framework a problem falls under that you want to take a philosophical look at, or a situation in society that you want to give a more philosophical approach to when looking at something. That's not easy problems to solve, first, because things aren't always black and white, cut and dry situations, especially in philosophy. And secondly, when you're not used to thinking in certain terms, ways, and states, it can seem daunting to grasp anything, any concept in that area. I often think of doctors. Me being a personal trainer, I certainly have a degree of anatomy and understanding about the human body in my education. But that doesn't mean I'm a doctor, and it doesn't mean I understand how the body operates on some other levels. I do have a greater understanding of the body as a whole because I have dug in on the levels that I had to dig in on, but that doesn't make me a physician. And the same could be said of life. We may not always understand something, but that doesn't mean we can't get involved with it, that we can't jump in with both feet. We learn when we embed ourselves into moments like that, into difficult situations. We learn on the job, which, as most of you have learned in this day and age, is the primary form of education. We cannot teach much in school, but on the job, you will learn exactly what you need to be doing. And I think we can apply that same concept to life. We are on the job every day, and we certainly need to understand our roles in each day. We need to understand the roles of our mind when we wake up in the morning and how it sets us up for the day. We need to understand our attitudes and how they can either hinder us or push us beyond what we ever thought we could do. We have many opportunities to change in life. And with each of those opportunities for change, we have a greater opportunity for understanding. Hold on. And with each greater opportunity of understanding, we progress. We move forward. We learn something about ourselves. We learn something about the way we learn. And we discover things that we never knew about ourselves because we didn't have to apply ourselves in those ways before. And being able to take all of that in and grow from it is what I call understanding. It is not just necessarily understanding that 2 + 2 is 4, but also understanding what 2 is, what plus is, and the concepts of addition and on and on. So today, take life apart like that. Take your moments, be present to them. When you don't understand something, stop, breathe, take it in. Look at all the small things. What is it you don't understand? What will help you come to understand that situation, that moment, or that thing better? And that, my friends, is living mindfully. That, my friends, is putting yourself to the task in each moment, which is to learn, live, love, and grow. And with that, my friends, I am going to move on. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope everyone grows in some meaningful way today, and I will see you once again. Peace and love, Jim.